Alright, what's up guys, Toasty here, Get Burnt. Today I'm bringing you guys another Dragon Ball Xenoverse update. So today I'm going to be talking about the interview that J Patrol actually did with the community manager and Namco Bandai, and I'm going to be going over all of the answers and questions and all that stuff, and then I will be talking about it afterwards. So, yep, let's get started. Who is the composer for the music in Xenoverse, and will it be the same in Japan and Europe? The name of the composer can't be said at this time, but Bandai Namco has requested music for all three regions to be the same. This is normal for a Dragon Ball Z game, so I think that this is fine. There's no real issue with this. Alright, next. Will the PC version of Xenoverse have higher graphical quality options, and will the PC and current generation of consoles have permanent destruction? No, the destruction will be temporary. The game was developed for consoles first. Next question, will players be able to make multiple versions of each race? For example, 2 human males, 2 Namekians, 2 female Majins, etc. Now this answer is actually not answering the actual question. It's actually completely wrong. It's not actually answering it. He said players can change some elements like clothes and attacks, but once players start the story, they can't change their gender / race of their character. They will have to restart the story in order to change gender / race. Alright, so I don't think he understood what he was actually saying. He really meant if you're able to actually have 2 human males or 2 2 male Majins, 2 female Majins in the amount of characters that you have. I think that's what he was asking, and the guy seemed to have misunderstood and answered the wrong thing. So now we're gonna have to wait for an actual answer to that one. Next one. How many transformations will each created character get? Just Super Saiyan 1 and 2. There will be no Super Saiyan 3 or 4 transformations. Will there be Dragon Ball GT characters in the game? Not yet confirmed. Yes, but it can't be said who it is at this time. Will players' custom character stats affect the stats of existing characters? Bandai Namco will have to go back and check on this. Can capsules be equipped to existing characters? No, not in the main mode. Can Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Jaco the Patrolman be unlocked by playing the game? No, these are DLC. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta will be a pre-order bonus and is currently not scheduled to be released any other way. It hasn't been decided on how Jaco will be available, just that it will somehow be through DLC. Will there be any characters or stages from the original Dragon Ball series? No. How many characters and stages will be in the game? Fans have to wait about this later, so I guess we're just gonna have to wait to see how many stages there are, but they did say it's more than 20, so I guess we could kind of say that it's gonna be around 24, 25, or around that spot. Can we create our own special energy technique? Players won't be able to create and move from scratch. They will need to select from a predefined list. What dub voices will be in the game? Japanese and English. Will the characters be able to transform? Yes, Saiyans have a physical transformation into Super Saiyan where the hair changes to yellow. For the other characters, there will be an aura change, but physically there's not much changes. Can Majins transform into Super Buu or Kid Buu? How about the Frieza race? No, there are no physical transformations for characters except Saiyans. Will Xenoverse have beam struggles? No, beams can't just cancel each other out. The reason because in instances such as 3v3 fights, the execution would be a challenge. So yeah, it's pretty much saying that there are no beam struggles. If one is stronger than the other, like let's say an ultimate's going up against a super attack, obviously the ultimate is going to win that one, but for just 2 ultimates clashing, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to cancel each other out. Are the animated sequences a separate special, or are they part of a story mode? They are created specifically for the game as it serves to be a part of the story mode. There are some in the beginning and within the story mode. Can we change the aura color of our created character? When the created character is at a high level, players will be able to change some advanced options, and aura color may be a part of it. Will there be team attacks or team supers? No. Can more than 2 people play locally / offline? No, just 2 players. Are there mini games and mini missions? No, there is a part in the story mode where players have to gather the Dragon Balls, but it's not something that would be considered a mini game. It's more like free roam. Will there be cities to explore aside from Toki Toki City? The game will have other stages, but not like Toki Toki City. Toki Toki City is like a hub where players will be able to return to buy clothes, meet friends, get missions, etc. And the last one, will there be what-if characters, for example, Super Saiyan 4 Broly? Aside from the ones already announced, like for example, Toa and Mira, no. The reason for the whole game is pretty much a what-if, so there already will be a lot of surprising situations. So now let's go over each question itself. Now, the first one really doesn't matter a lot to me. I mean, the composer, I don't know why they're hiding this information from us for so long. I mean, just tell us who the composer is so we know of their past work and so we can actually expect something from the game, but I guess they just don't want to reveal who the composer is. The PC version thing kind of makes me a little bit sad because they actually had said in the interview that the PC version will not be advanced in terms of options. They'll only have a few options to where you're actually going to be able to change things. You're not going to have an advanced PC port, which is kind of sad because I thought that with Dimps working on this game that they would have a decent PC port because they did co-develop some of the Street Fighter games, and I thought that that, in part being part of the reputation, would have them be able to make somewhat of a better port. But it seems like we're just going to be getting a console port. I would hope that we're going to be getting a next gen console port, or current gen, I guess. Like we're probably going to be getting like an Xbox One port or something. And honestly, I'm not extremely, like, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not frustrated about it because they did make sense where they're saying that their main market is on consoles, and that is true. Although I do think that if they did put more effort into the PC port and actually put more options and had more actual stuff in the PC port to where people actually want to buy it, because the thing is with people who buy stuff on Steam, they don't want to buy a game that's like poorly optimized or doesn't have a lot of options. They want to buy a game that has a good amount of options and is a true PC port and not just a port from the Xbox One or something with barely any options to actually change. Because a lot of people, even though the actual specs on the PC port for Xenoverse are very low, there's still some people out there who may not be able to play it, and they may want to change options, and now it doesn't really seem like they can do that. Probably going to be like the Naruto games where you can only like change like a few options, like resolution and all that stuff. It's kind of a disappointment, but you know, it's not a huge deal for me. But you know, hopefully in the future they could focus a little bit more on the PC port, but we'll have to wait and see. For the players being able to make versions of multiple races, I already said this. He misunderstood the question. Hopefully we can make more than two of actual like one race and gender. I don't want to be like limited to where I'm not only gonna be able to make two male humans, or not two male humans, I'll make one male human or anything like that. Although I doubt that I'll be making more than one of the same exact kind of character where it's a male and a human, like, because I'm probably going to be making every single race in the entire game, because I am going to be doing multiple playthroughs. So I'm probably going to be making characters in pretty much every single race slash gender. So that's how it's going to be. So I guess that it's going to be a little bit different. About how the transformations for every character will get. This is kind of weird because before Roundstyle had contact with Namco Bandai, he asked about Super Saiyan 3 for created characters, and they said it was in development. And later they also said that it was their next challenge, and now the guy is just saying straight up no. So I would assume that that means Super Saiyan 3 won't be in the game. It seems like we've been getting either mixed messages or it just has been canceled. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a balance issue. I honestly don't know. I'm not a game developer, but you know, a lot of people are going to be unhappy with this. A lot of people are really mad about there not even being Super Saiyan 4 transformations, which I don't really get because we really weren't expecting GT with this game anyway. So I don't know. Super Saiyan 3 not being in the game is kind of a little bit of a bummer, but I honestly am not going to be extremely mad about it because there are multiple other races to choose from. So it's not like I'm only going to be stuck with Saiyans. If this was like Ultimate Tenkaichi where we were only stuck with Saiyans and we can only use Saiyans, I'd be mad because only getting Saiyans and not having Super Saiyan 1 to 3 is an outrage, and it's really stupid. But if we have all of these other races and all that stuff to choose from, then I have no real problem with there not being Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 1 and 2, a lot of people were actually saying they like this more than Super Saiyan 3 because they just don't like Super Saiyan 3 as a form. Obviously, they're not in the majority, but you know, a lot of people are going to be sad about this, and yeah, I really don't have anything else to say about it. It's sad that they weren't able to do it, but you know, whatever. Next one about the GT characters. I kind of expected this mainly because Super 17 is like the only GT villain that has been confirmed in the game so far. And without a doubt, if Super 17's in the game, they're most likely going to have others like Baby and Omega Shenron in the game. I don't know about the Ice Shenron and everything. They were in Sergio's list. But if they are in the game, that's great. I really don't have a problem with them being in the game. They're awesome characters from GT. And yeah, I can't wait to see them. And then the next one about capsules being equipped to existing characters. It's not in the main mode, meaning that you can actually not like equip capsules to specific characters, like I guess Goku and all that stuff. Or at least that's what I would assume he's talking about. And the thing about that is that it kind of is a little bit weird, since I was assuming that they would allow you to do that because they did the same sort of thing in Budokai 3 where you were able to create your own custom character, like with Goku with a few different capsules or something like that. But I guess that's not how it's really going to be working here. I really am not sure. We'll have to wait and see. And next one about Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Jocko, we already knew this. Jocko is going to be distributed somehow. They don't know how yet. I would assume that he's just going to end up being free DLC or something like that. A download code on the first day of getting the game, like, is going to come with the game, or at least that's what I would assume is going to happen. I don't think that would make you pay for Jocko, but I'm not really sure. And as we all know, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is a pre-order / day one bonus, meaning that if you buy the game for pre-order, or you buy it like day one, then you're going to be getting Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And also remember, day one is not like strictly day one. Like if you bought on day two, you're going to probably still be getting a day one edition. Like they're still selling Naruto Revolution day one editions today, now, after like months after the game's been released. And you're still being able to get the day one bonuses. And it's funny because the day one copy actually costs less than the standard edition, which doesn't make sense. But you see what I mean here? A lot of you are extremely angry about Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta being a pre-order / day one thing, and he's most likely going to be there for a long time. So I really don't see the huge issue with it anymore, because before, when I got really angry about it, he was just a pre-order. It was just known as a pre-order. So I got kind of angry about that. But then when it said that it was also day one, I really don't have a problem with it anymore, because he's a day one. If you buy the game in the first few months, you're probably going to be getting Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. If not, then I really don't know. I guess that's just not going to be for everybody. But, you know, hopefully they do allow him to be DLC later. Hopefully they change their mind, because honestly, having a character that's only pre-order / buying it, like actually buying it or getting it on day one, I think that's really dumb. And I think they could at least put him on the PSN store for like $2 or something like that. Just like put him on the store, because that's everybody who buys the game really late, who didn't get a chance to buy it when it released, is gonna want to play Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and robbing them of that is kind of stupid. So I hope they release him as DLC later on the PSN store or something. I don't even care if it's paid or not, because if you buy the game early, you're gonna get him for free technically, because you're buying the game for the normal price. So there's no real issue. Will there be? Yeah, there will be their characters from the original Dragon Ball series. No, we already knew this. Masayuki Hirano said in an earlier interview before that Dragon Ball characters can't fly technically, so they weren't going to put them in the game, even though there are technicalities like Goku being able to fly on his Nimbus and all that other stuff. Some can fly, but apparently they're just not going to put it. They're not going to bother with any stages or characters, which is kind of, I don't know. I thought they would at least try to include some stages, maybe like the desert from Dragon Ball or something like that. I thought they would do that, even though it seems like they have a desert stage in Xenoverse, or like some sort of wasteland stage. It seems like we're not going to be getting any stages from Dragon Ball, and that's kind of sad, but you know, it doesn't really matter a lot. I know a lot of people really wanted Dragon Ball series to be in this game. Hopefully, if they make a new game, they could put in some Dragon Ball characters, at least like Kid Goku and stuff. You don't have to like bring in Chi-Chi again if you don't want to, but I'm just saying, for a future game, if Xenoverse does well and it does get a sequel, I would like to see Kid Goku make an appearance. Next one about how many stages characters in the game. We already know this. They keep saying that they're going to tell us at release. We still don't know. We don't know how many characters or stages are going to be in the game. We can guess around 25 stages, or at least around in that ballpark. But for characters, we don't really have any idea. They said more than 70, I believe, or more than 80 in the live stream. So we can guess around 80 to 100 characters. A lot of people say it's more than that, but we really have no actual idea yet. They just say it's big or robust is their words for it. So we really don't know. We're going to have to wait to see how many characters are actually in the game. Can we create our special energy technique? I never expected this, and I never understood why everybody is so extremely like hard about this. Like they want this so badly. Like I guess this could only be for people who want to do like the Kamehameha times 10 like sort of thing, where they change their Kamehameha to a different color or something like that, or maybe they want to be like nostalgic and change their Kamehameha to yellow to like symbolize Budokai 1 or something like that. I don't really know. But I never expected this. I didn't see a huge need for it, because it would probably be a lot more complicated than you think. And putting this in the game, I just didn't see it to be necessary. Having a predetermined list of all the characters moved from the show is fine enough for me. I really don't have a problem with it, and a lot of people do. I don't really understand it, but you know, that's just it. Japanese and English, I expected this. There really is barely ever any other dub options for Dragon Ball Z games, or at least that I know of, other than Japanese and English. So we kind of already knew that. How many characters will be able to transform? Yes, Saiyans have physical transformation, Super Saiyan, and the other and an aura change. Now, this is something I actually talked about before, about aura customization, talking about how it seemed like there was auras in the actual new live stream that came out earlier in December, and I was correct. They are going to be allowing us to choose our specific auras, kind of like Ultimate Tenkaichi, or at least I would assume it's going to be like Ultimate Tenkaichi, where you choose a specific aura. I don't know if it's going to have you be able to create your own aura, like completely like what kind of color aura and all that other stuff, and how intense you want the aura to be. I don't know if they're going to allow us to create our own auras, but I think that at least they will allow us to choose auras from characters in the show, or at least characters in Xenoverse, so that'll be cool. I have no problem with it. I'm happy with it, actually. I'm happy that we're going to be able to have auras because, you know, it adds variety to each character, so it makes it pretty cool. Alright, can Majins transform into Subaru? Kid Buu have Frieza race? A lot of people are getting angry about this. Now, I knew that the Majins can't transform, which is kind of sad for me, because in Dragon Ball Online, you were able to actually transform into a Kid Buu-like creature. If you were a Majin, no matter gender or whatever, you were able to transform into like a Kid Buu sort of monster. And now here you can't do it at all. I don't know. I guess they just decided not to do it. We're gonna have to stay as fat Majins or skinny female Majins, which I don't know. It's kind of sad because I kind of really wanted to play as a Super Buu like Majin male, but I guess that I can't do that now. My dream will never be realized. But yeah, I guess that's just how it is. And for the Frieza race, a lot of people are freaking out about this too, especially because we did see a cooler like Frieza race character in the live stream. Now remember guys, these are definitely 100%, they are pieces of your body that you make with your character. When you start making your character, you're able to determine the height and what kind of head you have. So you're able to choose the cooler like body and how long your tail is and everything like that. You're able to choose your body that way. That's how your body's gonna look. That's why you see a cooler like figure in Xenoverse. That's because you can change it from the beginning. That it's not a transformation, it's just how you look, period. So it shouldn't be that bad, or at least I would assume that won't be that bad, because people are going to be able to walk around looking like cooler. When who doesn't want to do that? Next one, will Xenoverse have beam struggles? We've known this for a very long time. There's really no use talking about it. Honestly, I don't think it's a huge necessity. Yes, it's important to the show. I know. It's epic. It's awesome in all the other games, yes. But if it gets in the way of the actual gameplay, then I don't want it, or I don't care for it. Even though it could work in 1v1s and not have to do it in 3v3s, it still is not something that's going to stop me from buying the game. I'm not going to get mad and not buy the game, because Infinite World's one of my favorite 2D Dragon Ball games, period. And I love the game, and it doesn't have beam struggles. Like, I don't see the issue. So, that's just me. Alright, next. The animated sequences, we already knew this kinda. We knew that they were meant for the game because we've already seen the trailer with all of the animated sequences and all that stuff. So we really don't need to talk that much about that. And yeah, this is just saying, can we change the aura color of created character? And he says, yes, when you get to a higher level, you'll be able to change some advanced options in aura color, maybe a part of it. So I guess that they will be allowing us somewhat to be changing the aura color. I don't know if they're going to be allowing us to do all the advanced stuff with the intensity of the aura and everything like that, but if they do, that'll be amazing. Dimps, listen, maybe that'd be amazing. I'm just saying right now. And then for the team attacks and team supers, never expected this, never thought this was ever going to happen, period. So it's not a shocker to me. So that's just what I think. Can more than 2 people play locally or offline? This doesn't honestly matter to me because I never play locally, but I know that there are people out there who do play with their siblings and stuff, and it kind of, I guess, could be sad since it is said to be 6 players, and I guess that they really don't want to have it so, because like actually now that I think about it, it would be kind of dumb, because the way that Xenoverse's local works is that it doesn't even have a lock-on feature. It actually is straight without any sort of marker, and it's just changing the camera to where your characters are, kind of like the Naruto games, how there is no lock-on in those games. For the Storm games, when you're moving around, it'll just change the camera to how your characters are standing and everything like that. Obviously it's going to work a little bit more differently because it's a flying game in Xenoverse, but that's pretty much how it's going to work. So I could see why it's not going to have more than 2 players. The mini games and mini missions, never expected this. Obviously the Dragon Ball grab thing, I was assuming that was going to be an actual mode that you could do online, sort of like how you're able to do that in Battle of Z, but I guess that it's not. I guess that they are saying that it's it would be considered, that's not something that would be considered a mini game. It's more like free roam, I guess, can gather in the Dragon Ball. So I guess free roam in a certain way is in the game, but it's not like free roam. So I guess that's how far they're going with that. Will there be cities to explore aside from Tokyo City? A lot of people wanted to know this, myself included. because we had early screenshots of your character standing in like West City, and it seems like it was talking to Yamcha and everything, and it seemed like it would be somewhat of free roam like Toki City. But Toki City is a hub world, so this is where you meet all the other players and everything. You buy clothes, get missions, all that other stuff. But I guess that the in the city and all that stuff, those screenshots from a while ago, I guess they could have just been pieces of that Dragon Ball thing that he was talking about, where you gather the Dragon Balls in a place, but I'm not really sure. It could just be that, or it could be something else. We really don't know. It could just be part of a battle where you got to go to a different, through a portal to a different place. So I guess that's what it could be. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Last question, will there be what if characters, for example, Super Saiyan 4 Broly? This is something that I was planning on talking about, especially since I did make a video before about Super Saiyan 4 Broly himself, talking about if he should be in the game or not. And I said he could be in the game. I mean, he's not a necessity because he's Super Saiyan 4 Broly. He's unnecessary, like, meaning, like, that's the meaning of him. He's unnecessary. But a lot of people are kind of sad about this. A lot of people are sad that there are not going to be what if characters like adult Gotenks and stuff like that. And yeah, I guess so. But I mean, maybe in a future installment, maybe they can put some what if characters in there, because Dimps are the ones that did make Dragon Ball Heroes, which is pretty much the Dragon Ball what if game period completely, because there's so many what if characters. So who knows? Maybe in a future installment they could try and do that, because remember, guys, Xenoverse is the first in a series. If the game does well. If the game doesn't do well, then obviously it's not going to be made into a series and have multiple games made on it. But if it is successful and it gets multiple games, they can increase the amount of characters and all that stuff. Because if you guys remember, the same sort of thing was going on with the Budokai Tenkaichi series. The first time there weren't as many characters, and the fighting system was not that was not that good, and mostly the game itself was not that great as a whole. But then when more games were made on top of it, we got BT2, which is probably the best story mode in a Dragon Ball Z game, period. And then we have BT3, which is known by a lot of people to be the best Dragon Ball sort of fighting game, period. So, you know, that sort of thing is what really goes into having the great games, is having actual installments afterward. Now, obviously, Raging Blast 2, for some people, will definitely say that that is a step back from Raging Blast 1 because of the story mode, as well as some people don't like the graphics of RB2 compared to RB1, and a lot of people actually don't like the fighting system in RB2 for some reason, apart from RB1, so I don't really know. But the reason for sequels is to improve the initial game and initial formula to make it better. So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen with Xenoverse. Hopefully it gets a lot of success and we can get a sequel that is better than this one, to have maybe what if characters and a whole bunch of new sort of things in it. Because think about it, it would be really awesome to see this. So, you know, that's it for this interview talk. This was a pretty long video and I apologize for that. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to hit that like button down there below, because I am out of breath. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for today, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and if you actually want to see more up-to-date stuff on Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Naruto Storm 4, J-Stars Victor vs. Plus, all that other stuff. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.